North Carolina detective is on leave after fatally shooting a mentally ill teen named Keith Vidal. Keith Vidal is an 18-year-old, and he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Now, this teen was under a schizophrenic episode when he apparently picked up a screwdriver and didn't actually hurt anybody with it, but it was threatening enough for the parents to call the police. Now, a couple of officers had already come to the situation and had come to respond to the situation and had successfully subdued the teenager with a stun gun. That should be enough, right? Well, apparently, this Brunswick County officer, this North Carolina detective, pulled up late to the scene, even after the officers who had already these officers that had responded to the scene first had successfully subdued the teenager. And he decided, no, I'm still going to rush to the scene. And he's reported of saying, quote, "We don't have time for this." And that's when he allegedly shot the teenager and killed him. I'm sorry, this story gets to me already. The story pisses me off, and it's obvious why. Now, Mark Wilsey, the teen's father, he had explained that they called the police to help get the son under control during a schizophrenic episode. Now, the officers, like I mentioned before, they successfully subdued him with a taser. But then this other guy runs in and shoots the kid for no reason. Wilsey said, quote, "They killed my son in cold blood. We called for help, and they killed my son." Now that's really powerful. And that's really horrifying. I recall another story, probably a couple of months ago, where a teen had stolen their father's truck and drove it down the street. Parent called the police. The police responded with deadly force when the teenager wouldn't get out of the car. And that's just one of them. I know there are many more. We have a problem with basically overreaction, police overreaction, especially when it comes to mental health. People that are mentally ill and can't get the help that they need and are often very, very difficult for family members to deal with, especially when a lot of people can't afford to get the proper type of mental health that these people need. And there are no, federal mental health facilities that people can go to get help. And oftentimes, these people, a lot of these mentally ill people, end up going to prison or getting killed or ending up homeless. We have a huge problem with mental health in this country. And combine that with police overreaction, and it's a deadly mix. He had a screwdriver. A screwdriver versus a gun. It was a small screwdriver even. But they killed him. Did you know he was only 90 pounds? This 18-year-old was only 90 pounds. And he was held down by 2 police officers when he was shot. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen to the police officer. Well, according to the Brunswick County DA's office, they said that it would take time to determine if a crime had been committed. If a crime had committed. Now, do you get that? This kid is shot dead for having a schizophrenic episode that he could not control. If a crime has been committed. There has been a crime, all right. This kind of police brutality and this unwillingness to understand mental illness and be prepared to deal with mental illness. Now, the cops that first responded that had subdued this teenager with a taser, I don't have any problem with those guys. But it was the guy who allegedly shot this teenager to death. It's horrifying, and I really hope that his father and his parents, his family, gets justice. Now, we know that in a lot of circumstances, police will cover for each other. And keep each other's, basically cover each other's ass. I hope that doesn't happen in this circumstance. We hope. Now, according to Attorney James Payne, who's representing the officer, he said that when the investigation is done and that review has been completed, everybody will conclude that the officers acted appropriately. Bullshit. Bullshit that the officer acted accordingly. Now, I'm not talking about the ones who had held down the teen. I'm talking about the one who shot the teen to death while being held down over a screwdriver. He was no threat. Like, I understand how weapons can be threatening, okay? And how, yes, if used in the right way, a screwdriver can be harmful. But you have a gun, and you have backup holding that 90-pound kid down. Did you really need to shoot him? To kill him? Is that what policing has come to? And look, I did the prior story about an officer actually using the right amount of force in a situation to contrast this, because I want to make the point that not all police officers are bad. And this guy, I sincerely hope that this guy gets in trouble and gets what he deserves. Because there is no reason for Keith Vidal to be dead. No reason at all.